Recently, I've been studying chess a little bit and getting back into it, learning some of the tactics and tricks, and how to just play better in general. And most importantly, how not to blunder my queen in 3 moves. Now, I'm 700 ELO, I suck pretty badly, so it happens every 1 in 3 games. But something that I realized while I was studying the tactics of chess was how the tactics that you use in chess to attack people and win material is very similar to how Satan attacks us when we're on our journey with Christ. Now, I'm assuming most of you watching know what the game of chess already is, otherwise I don't think you would have clicked on this video. But the way I see chess is a comparison to life and how we pursue things. We being the king, and our pieces, our rooks, our bishops, our knights, our pawns, our queen, are how we take action and pursue that goal. And every attack that we make, every piece that we capture is one step closer to achieving that goal and ultimately checkmating the king. And once we checkmate that king, we achieve our end-all be-all goal. Now, this comparison can be basically applied to anything in life. Whether you want to build a good physique, build a good habit, whatever it is, it can be applied there. But the thing that I really focus on is the way Satan attacks us and the tactics that he uses. Alright, so the first tactic that I want to get into is overloading a single square or a single piece with a ton of pressure. And so the position we have here is pretty scary in my opinion. They have 3, 6, 11, 20 points of material staring at this one singular pawn. And there's no way you can really defend this, to be honest. You're going to lose the pawn inevitably. If you try and make a big trade, you're just going to lose material in the long run. But here's what I want you to see. If they take here, alright, you can just checkmate them off the bat, right? So they can't really take. They have to do something else in response to your queen staring down at this very, very open file. And so, here's what I want you to realize in life. You have to realize some of the threats that Satan poses to you, some of the things that he threatens, and some of the pressures that he puts on you. You have to ask yourself this. Is it truly worth worrying about? Because a lot of the time, Satan's going to threaten these really small things, just like a tiny little pawn. In real life, maybe he threatens losing a 3-minute relationship with a random stranger you just met on the street that you kind of like, but you don't really care much about. You gotta stop worrying about the very, very tiny details and lock in on what's really important, the goal ultimately to capture or checkmate the other king. You need to get your priorities straight. That's what I'm really trying to say here. Don't get them mixed up when Satan tries to put pressure on a really tiny thing. Because if you feel worried about something like, I don't know, at school, the gym's gonna take down 1 basketball from the total count, that's not worth worrying about. I don't know, that's a stupid example, but you get what I'm trying to say here, right? The small things you don't have to worry about. Consider the threats and the threats that you have. That's the way you should think about attacking and defending against Satan. Satan isn't the only one that can attack. You can too. So consider your own threats and consider if his threats are truly worth worrying about. Alright, so the next tactic that I want to go into is the pin. And the pin is, as the name suggests, it pins down a singular piece right here. So this is a very common opening move where the bishop pins the knight to the queen. Now, the pin is a powerful tactic because if you move your knight anywhere, you lose your queen. But there's no real threat here, to be honest. The bishop's just here to pin for the sake of pinning. There's no real threat, there's no real attack, there's no pressure on your knight. There's only one piece attacking it, and there's 1, 2 defending it, so there's no real pressure. But something you also have to realize is, the bishop can just move out of the way, and it's no longer a threat. And the pin's over, the tactic's done. But sometimes it can feel very, very restricting in real life when you're pinned down by Satan, when he may give you a bunch of responsibilities from the world, your family, work, a bunch of things. And you feel like you can't do anything whatsoever because there's things pinning you down. But simply taking care of the thing that causes that pin, the responsibility, or the workplace, whatever it is, just taking care of that and dealing with it head first takes a lot of the pressure off of you. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And it's really just a pointless move for them, which you can push your pawn up, gain some sort of attack with tempo. Alright, the last tactic that I want to get into is the removal of a defender. Now, the tactic is called removal of a defender because often you or your opponent will sacrifice up a piece like this, and if they take, well, mate in one. But you don't always have to take, and nor does the opponent have to take. If they see this, oh, my bishop's defending it, I can just move out of the way. But you can kind of just pester them. That's not the right move. But you can go something like this. Not it. But my point is that there's going to be tactics like this where you might get distracted and, oh, look, free, it's free. And you blunder mate in one move and you just immediately lose the game. But Satan often uses tactics like this by distracting you with things that you might want, giving you and promising you things that you've always desired. Maybe things like attention. He showers you with attention for a little while and he makes you seek that. He distracts you from defending your position with God. Or he gives you a bunch of opportunities to go out and party and do some pretty degen stuff. Well, that still makes you distracted and draws you further away from God, removing you from the defense of staying committed to God and staying on the righteous path. And so, this is the main theme here. You have to realize the threats that opponent is making and your own threats. What you can take, what he can possibly take, the moves that he might make, the moves that you might make. All of these things are possibilities that you have to consider. And on a chessboard, there's probably like 1 in 14,605,000 possibilities where you might win and he might win in a very specific way. There's a bunch of things that can happen on a chessboard, but that's what makes life and both the game of chess so interesting. You have to learn, you have to play better. And Satan isn't just gonna sit there and let you do things. You gotta learn the game. You gotta learn to play. You gotta learn the tactics that he uses. He's gonna learn some more tricks and maybe learn to apply multiple tactics at once. But you just simply have to adapt and get better. Get better at the game. Get better at playing and know how to play the game overall better. But yeah, I hope this might have helped and this might have been interesting, or I don't know. But I hope you found something helpful or something interesting here. And I really do appreciate you for sticking to the end here and watching all the way through. But that's pretty much it for me. I really enjoyed making this video. I thought it'd be a fun, interesting idea to make. But yeah, just stay consistent, stay disciplined, and keep on building that relationship with God, all right? And just give me a kiss. Mwah.